Hey guys, how are you?
What's up?
There we go. Make sure I can be.
Hello.
Hope everyone's doing well. Happy Tuesday. There's Austin.
Hey guys, how are ya?
How you doing, dude?
Good, man. You?
Good, good. Chilly.
Yeah, it's a little chilly out there.
Yep.
We got some new faces out here. David's here. How are you? Jake, good to see you, man.
And then maybe wait a second. We'll let some people
Sure.
introduce themselves that are.
Yeah, by all means.
Hey, Josh, it's Aaron here. Got a call from Kat this morning. Thank you very much.
Cool. Good. She's talented. She's good.
Yeah.
She's already closed a couple deals and she's been in the
she's
business,
doing amazing. That's amazing.
like 6 months. So
Do I have her last name right? Delpit?
yeah, Delpit. Yep. Hold on, let me
Okay.
just confirm that. Yeah, I'm
Very
99% sure. Yep.
good. We had a great conversation.
Yeah, again, very, very smart, talented, driven. Yeah, Delpit. Austin, should we just start by having some of the newer people maybe introduce?
Yeah, let's go for it because we have a special guest speaker coming on at 11:45 ish. Hamid should be joining us soon too, I would suspect. He'll introduce our guest speaker. Yeah, but let's go for some introductions then.
Laura, do you want to introduce yourself real quickly first, and then maybe Lachelle?
Yeah, of course. Hi, guys. My name is Laura. I'm a new agent with Keller Williams Beverly Hills. I have been with the office for more than 2 months now, and I'm enjoying everything about it. It's awesome.
And very engaged and very plugged in, and that's awesome. That's definitely a big step in the right direction. So
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Laura. Are you going to be
Thank
focusing
you.
on residential, commercial, or both? Or
So I think I'm going to be focusing on both.
good.
Yeah,
And are you brand new to the industry or just brand new to the office?
to the industry.
Okay, fantastic. Well, good. This group of people that you see on the phone, and there's plenty that are not here as well. Great wealth of knowledge and resource for you. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Lachelle, do you want to give a little intro?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Lachelle Pickett. I'm a new real estate agent and I'm new to Keller Williams. I'm so excited to join you guys.
Fantastic. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you.
The same question for you. Are you a commercial specialist? New to the business? Or you're residential? Just checking this out. Say hi.
Residential. I would
Okay.
love to learn commercial as well.
Sure. And I mean, they're two different beasts, but there's a lot of similarities, obviously. Also
Okay.
remember for both you and Laura, we are resources for you in the respect that if you do decide to focus more on residential, or if you just happen to find yourself doing more residential deals, don't forget a lot of your clients will also have investment needs too. And
Yes.
if you're not comfortable or knowledgeable or able to guide them through those transactions, you can come to me actually, and then I'll team you up with one of the KW commercial directors here on this call so that they can partner with you on those deals and either secure that listing, because believe it or not, when you use us, the likelihood of you securing that listing is much higher. And or if you have a
Okay.
buyer, we'll show you what to look for and how to underwrite the deals and go forward from there.
Awesome.
Michelle,
Thank you.
let me also suggest too, I'm going to be giving a presentation mainly directed for the residential agents on how to generate revenues through commercial referrals, which is a great way to get your toe in the water and get exposed to commercial and kind of shadow deals and see how they're done. It's going to be a week from tomorrow, and you'll be getting an email from Alfredo, I think, or an announcement. My name's Aaron Weiner, so kind of look for my name, and by all means, please join in, and I'll share some valuable secrets with you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey guys, before Hamid and our guest speaker join, I'm going to just quickly take the screen if that's okay. Alfredo, can you give me access? Alfredo or Blake, if you can hear me, can you give me access to share screen, please? Thank you much. So here's another shameless plug, guys, for the KW Commercial Summit that's coming up next week, 1 week from today, in fact. They have announced one of the guest speakers. It will be the EVP and CEO of the CCIM. I know Aaron's CCIM. I don't remember if we have any other CCIMs on the call right now, or even in the division for that matter, but he's got a 30-second little plug. Again, the summit is from December 8th through the 10th. Members only pay, I think, $49. Non-members pay $59. Great networking, great resources, great education. Without further ado, let me get you to that video. Can everyone see the screen with the KW Commercial logo?
Yep.
Yeah.
So let me just quickly play this.
Hi, this is Greg Fine, the CEO and EVP of the CCIM Institute. I am very excited to be joining this year's KW Commercial Summit, December 8th through 10th. I'll be walking us through some macro trends in the commercial real estate industry and also how they're going to impact our workforce of the future. So join us then and reserve your ticket today at summit.kwcommercial.com.
Pretty straightforward, guys. I'm going to take that exact URL that he just said and put it into the chat. So you guys, I do strongly encourage you to join us. Again, this year, unlike most, you don't need to travel. You're going to do this from the safety and comfort of your own home. Great networking, great information. Joe Williams, again, the Williams of Keller Williams, should be there as well, as he normally is, and he will be a guest speaker at some point, I'm sure. But it's a great opportunity, especially if for those of you that are members of KW Commercial, plug into this because it's good. And for those of you that are not members, that are interested in learning more about the program, or more specifically just about commercial, definitely join the summit. You'll find it useful, I think. And also, just because we have a few more minutes before Frank and Hamid join us, just wanted to see how everybody was. How was Thanksgiving? Everybody have a good Thanksgiving? Did you guys go anywhere? Did you do anything special?
Very good. Local.
Good. Local, nice. With just the three of you, or did you have extended family?
My mother-in-law and my brother-in-law.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. Homemade meal or no?
Yes.
Nice.
How about you?
Was down in San Diego all week with my family, and then for Thanksgiving dinner, actually came up to Orange County to visit Joy's sister-in-law and her kids, so the cousins could play. We had dinner there, and her mom made a phenomenal meal, as she normally does, but this one was insane.
Awesome. Always on adventures, man. Love
You know, you got to keep it interesting, especially now that we're all back on lockdown again.
Yeah.
I haven't even caught up. We're not allowed to eat outside anymore. We're not allowed to meet with anybody outside of our home. Going in a different direction than I think we all want to, but stay safe, everybody. Hamid, you just joined. Thank you.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you very much. And yourself?
Very good, thank you. How was your Thanksgiving?
Wonderful. I went to Aspen. There was snow.
Oh, fantastic.
Skied and yeah.
Do you ski or snowboard?
Yes. No,
Great.
ski. Yes.
Very good.
I'm an avid skier.
Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's very good. Did you fly? You flew or you drove?
No, we fly. Yeah, it's too long to drive.
Right. And how was the flight? Was it busy? Did you find security and safety?
Fine. Nothing out of the ordinary. There's usually a nonstop flight from LA to Aspen, but this time they rerouted us through Denver, and
Sure.
no issues.
Right. Yeah, 'tis the season to have the direct flights to all the smaller resorts now. I think Vail, you can fly direct as well.
Yeah,
Or into Eagle, I should say.
Eagle. Yes, right.
Right.
Yes.
So Hamid has COVID. That's basically what you're
Oh, is
saying.
that what it is? All right. So
No, I tested on Wednesday before I left, and it was negative. So I have that negative certificate.
There you go.
That's only good for one day, you know.
Yeah, it's yeah, because you could catch it tomorrow.
It's like an appraisal, Hamid. It's good for one day. It's good the day it's.
My wife just got tested today, so we'll have results again. She got tested before we went away for Thanksgiving. You know, it's a strange time. If you guys, you know, obviously feel like you need to get tested as much as you can. I will just share a quick story. One of my best friends, him and his wife went to go get tested 2 weeks ago prior to visiting friends and family for Thanksgiving. And they got the results. She came back negative, but my friend came back positive.
Oh, boy.
And that was really strange because they live in the same house, they're married, like they sleep in the same bed together. How can one spouse have it, not the other? So my friend was then prompted to call one of his doctor friends, and he had placed an order for the instant test. And so he on the second day, the day after the results came back, he took the instant test and immediately it shows as negative. And then while this was all happening, he scheduled yet another test for the following day, back at the same testing organization that he went to, and that came back negative. So in a span of like 4 days, my friend took 3 tests, 1 positive, 2 negative. So
Hey, two out of 3 wins.
2 out of 3 win, not bad, great for him. I'm glad. Obviously, he didn't have any symptoms, but it makes me question the reporting. Like, how is this all being reported? Is he 1 case positive and 2 not? Is he added to the stats? Kind of weird. But with that being said,
that or not?
I'm sorry?
Do you know the answer to that?
Oh no, I don't. You know me, Josh. I like to dive into a lot of things.
Yeah.
This is not one of those things I choose to dive into. It's like,
Right.
I don't know who to believe. as long as we stay safe, friends and family,
Right.
guys, like, just make it happen.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I see that our special guest speaker has just joined us. Hamid was so gracious to arrange for this to happen. Thank you again, Hamid, for making all these arrangements. This is
Thank
like
you.
2 weeks in the making. I think it's a great subject for today and for the upcoming months as we get into and transition into 2021. So without further ado, Hamid, please go ahead and introduce Frank.
Yes, Frank Akef owns a accounting firm in Beverly Hills. He's been doing my accounting for over 20 years, as well as my family member. I have introduced him to a number of my associates, previous associates, which have used him, and presently Jake has gone to him and used him for the past couple of years. He's versed in changing laws regarding accounting, and he can provide assistance in cases that are complicated, like for myself, for instance, I've had high incomes and I don't want to pay taxes on the straight off the top, and he has provided a number of options that has reduced my tax liability and increased the assets, equities in the assets. So he sent me a flyer regarding that potential Biden's tax changes, and that's forthcoming. And I invited him to come and join us and tell us more about that and how it could affect our business and individually as well as our clients.
Great. Thank you.
Frank,
And on a simpler note, Frank is just a really smart, nice guy and makes tax returns very easy to understand. So I would recommend him for sure.
That's highly unusual. So kudos to you, Frank. That's fantastic. Simple is better.
Thanks for joining us, Frank.
Is he there?
Yeah, he's on mute. You're muted.
Okay, you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It was a great introduction. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, we try in our office once a month to send a so-called newsletter to every client or associate we have, and try to share what's going on a day-to-day basis. Now, the subject was interesting, so I thought I'd send a summary of what Biden plan is and be prepared for it. But it's a end of the year, it's the last month of the year, and there are things that you could do, even though it's a short time. Overall, the Biden plan is, I'm sure Hamid sent you what we sent him. Overall, we figure is his plan is to take a burden out of lower income people and lower middle people to higher middle people, and also the high income people. So the tax laws that he is suggesting is to take a maximum of 37% to 39% over $400,000 income. So he's targeting people with the income of over $400,000 in all aspects of it, all aspects of the new tax law that he is thinking about or he's suggesting. Obviously, you have to understand that he needs the Senate to approve any of these tax laws to go through. And that remains to be seen. As far as the capital gain is concerned, which you guys being in the real estate industry would be concerned about, the current rate is 0% for under 78,000, 15% 78,000 to almost 500,000, and then 20% above that. He's suggesting that should be ordinary income for over $1 million income.
Okay.
Is basically he's getting rid of the long-term capital gain for people who have more than $1 million income.
Hey, Frank, quick question for you. When I read that, I wanted just clarification. When you say $1 million of income, are you talking about $1 million of gain or $1 million of income throughout the life of the investment?
From all the sources, from all the sources. It's not based on one deal that you make. It's based on, if you're a person that you make 400, you make $1 million commission, and then you make, you sell a property, then you're over $1 million income for the person who's doing it.
Okay.
So basically, it's taxed as regular income for everything above and beyond $1 million.
For the capital gain. For the capital gain.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, for the capital gain. Yeah. One other interesting item that I could mention is Social Security tax. Right now, Social Security tax maxes as 137,000. He wants to again go collect Social Security over $400,000 income. So there's a problem. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then the biggest of all is state tax. State tax, right now you're exempt 11.5 million per person, which husband and wife going to be 23 million. And he wants to bring it back to $5 or $6 million that was before, and gifting limit to 1 million. That's the point of planning at this time. If you gift now in 2020, if that thing comes in 2021, you're better off
Giving now.
lighten up your estate. In the past, I'm sure all of you were planning for your income tax purposes. You were trying to expedite your expenses and defer your income. With this new tax law to come, or what we foresee that to come, you better harvest income for 2020 rather than deferring. In other words, reporting income for the people who are in the higher bracket. They're better off reporting income at this point. Like that works for the people who wants to convert their IRA to Roth IRA. It's a good timing for them to convert it now and pay the taxes at 37%, so they can't pay it at 39% next year. That's a way of planning. Or people who are selling. I understand you are commercial real estate brokers for the most part. On the bigger deals, there are installment sales. Your client are better off to elect to report the income this year rather than using installment sale and reporting it when they receive the money, if the cash flow allows. So that's another thing that could be done. For this short period of time that is left, overall, you're better off, if you are in a higher income kind of situation, you're better off reporting your income this year and doing your expenses next year. One other big items that unfortunately we Californian and the people from New York have problem with is itemized deduction for their state tax and property taxes. As you know, it's limited to 10,000 right now. And state of California was going around it and making it deductible, the state tax somehow. But now the new administration comes in, that is more of a possibility. So if you have a property, don't expedite your property tax and pay it next year, and pay your, some of you who pay quarterly taxes for the state, don't pay it this year, pay it next year. So maybe there is something we could do next year as far as deducting those state taxes, so defer those expenses to next year.
Frank, I'm sorry, just to clarify on that point. So you're saying property tax for primary residence and or investments pay next year, not right now?
Well, you have to pay the first payment.
Well, I understand, yeah, by December 10th,
in the
right?
past, we used to tell you, advise our client to pay both payments right now.
Right.
Right now, we're saying reverse.
Okay.
Do it next year. Don't pay it now, because you're limited to 10,000 anyway.
Right. Okay.
You can't get a deduction.
So pay the first installment now. Don't pay the second installment now, which would have been right.
Right. Obviously, for commercial properties, is different because it's part of the expense. But again, if you want to have more income this year and less income next year, you're better off paying it next year than.
So I have another question for you, Frank. Sorry to interrupt again.
That's okay.
So I get the idea of harvesting the income this year versus next year. But my first thought that pops into my head is that then wouldn't our estimated income taxes for the following year artificially go up? Not that we're obligated to pay the estimated, but assuming that we maintain the same level of income.
No, you're not binded to pay your taxes next year based on the income that you have this year. That's what was your question, right?
Correct.
No, you always have an option. Pay your estimated taxes based on the real income that you have in that year.
Sure. Okay.
It's not fixed. That you shouldn't underpay it, because if you underpay it, then you have a penalty for not paying it at least the same as this year.
Okay.
But you could always change the amount of payment that you make during the year. Yeah. So overall, we're recommending more of a income this year and more of an expense next year. That would be the recommendation that we could make. One thing is, for the people who really want to make a big charity, like some people, they have houses to donate, they have big things to donate. 2020 is only year that you could take 100% of it. In other words, you have your income is, let's say your income is $1 million and you have $1 million property that you're giving away. You could take the whole $1 million as a deduction, versus usually charitable contribution is limited to 60% of your AGI. So this year is that year that you could take 100%. Sometimes for some people are good to do that this year, or some people are not good to do it this year. You could always carry that itemized deduction to next 5 years. So that should be considered. So for each individual is really different how you do it. My best recommendation is for that estate planning area to gift that $11 million if you can, because we are thinking that $11 million is going to go away for sure. One other thing that they're recommending, which I'm not so sure that's going to go through, is they're eliminating a step-up basis. As you know, when a property is inherited, because of the estate tax that you pay or you're exempt from, you get a step-up basis. Your basis is not the same basis as your parents was, or things in that nature. They want to get rid of that. That's really a thing that it's hard to pass, but then there's a way to go around it, and that is you sell the property before you give it away to your children. So you give them a cash, so you use your basis and you pay the taxes yourself. There are planning methodology that you could use for each different cases, based on each person's tax situations. One other thing that I could mention, when you gift, the most concern people have is control, because usually when you gift your asset to your children or whoever you want to gift it to, you have to lose the control of it. There are trusts and there are ways to keep control even though you're gifting right now. Again, for each individual is different. Basically, that's all topic I could have told you.
Frank, there was one more topic in your email that we didn't talk about today. Plans to eliminate the 1031 exchange. It's been a topic and conversation for many years.
Right.
What is your opinion? What's the likelihood that Biden actually gets to push that one through?
Again, that's above $400,000 income people.
Sure.
He's saying is, if you are above $400,000 income, you have to recognize the remainder. So is it going to go through? Is not going to go through? I don't know. Overall, the concept of 1031 exchange was to encourage people to reinvest. and it still is, no matter who's the administration, all the administrations, they want you to reinvest. They want you to go and expand yourself as much as possible. So that would be against that. It just doesn't let you expand as much as you can. But you never know. It might go through. But is there nothing? There's no planning at this point to do for that. If that law goes through, that law goes through.
And Frank, can you revisit the step-up basis? I mean, I think I have a good understanding, but just for everybody else on the call, as it applies to real estate and both commercial and residential, the step-up basis, as far as I'm concerned, my opinion is that it's a huge benefit for the heirs.
Yes.
Because they can keep it or they can sell it, and if they sell it, then they're at the new assessed value or the new value versus the old one, so less cap gains. Can you just reconfirm that or get a little bit more detailed than that?
Yeah, a step-up basis is basically you have in your state, you have a few properties that your cost, let's say, is 500,000, is worth $5 million. Now, you pay state tax based, you pay or you don't pay, doesn't matter, it's part of your state. You have $5 million that if there's a tax, you pay the state tax, and then you transfer that to your heirs. Now, they are coming and saying, oh, the basis of your parents is your basis. So if you sell it, you have to pay taxes again, 500,000, and you sold it for 5 million, 4.5 million income you have to recognize. In other words, they want to get the taxes on the other end. Now, at this point, you pay taxes for all the asset, you pay state taxes for all the asset you accumulate during your lifetime. So it's a double taxation. When you die, you pay taxes again. Now they want to say, okay, you didn't pay taxes when you were alive, so your heir has to pay tax, still has to pay income taxes. That's the basic things that they are doing, if they're successful doing so. So that's something. And then we, if you know, Proposition 19 passed for the state of California. That by itself is a point of planning also. There's a good point and bad point in it. The good point is now you could upgrade your personal resident for the higher price and still not to pay property tax based on the new price, which is good. In the past, all of you know, you had to change it to the same price or lower. Now you sell a house for 2 million, you could buy a house for 3 million, you still pay taxes on 2 million.
The interesting point on that though is, it's for the elderly, right? Above 65, I believe is the
About 55.
55. So, that just means once you get to 55 or older, depending on how much older, sometimes you're downsizing, so that is still a benefit. You can still take your property tax value there. But really, to take advantage of that, you'd have to be getting bigger and better primary residences.
Yeah, but 55 is still people are young. They're not going down, they're going up.
Right. And I'm just trying to say that again for you guys, like when it comes to real estate transactions, if you're doing residential, think about that. Think about the step-up basis too. So you have a wealthy investor that owns multiple commercial properties as well as residential. They leave it to their kids. When the kids don't know what to do, which we all have seen this before, right? The kids have no idea. They never were involved with this. They get together and say, let's just sell it all. With the step-up basis, they sell it all. They pay little capital gains because the value has gone up. It's not from when the parents bought it and what the current market value is. That's huge. So use that information in your conversations. If there's legislation that comes down the pipeline that's trying to take that away, make sure you're aware of that and make sure that you tell your clients so that they can be aware of that too, because it has implications for them. Okay, the passing the burden onto your heirs and passing the burden onto the future generations. Look, I'm not trying to get into politics here right now, but it has an effect on our clients' estate planning, right? So that's just my 2 cents worth. Sorry.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's the way. It's for your client who's selling, let's say $50 million worth of property, is really needs this kind of planning. Also, again, to this Proposition 19, you could have transferred up to $1 million commercial property to your kids and not to be reassessed. Now they took away that. And so from February of next year, that is gone. So you have to, they reappraise that. That's another point, that if the people wanted to transfer anything, should transfer it now rather than next year. Any other question?
Frank, are you a CPA and an estate planner, or
I'm an EA.
services do you offer?
Frank, you have used, for me at least, some tax planning that minimizes the income tax, and that was to make a service corporation, a C Corp or LLC or S Corp, as the case may be, for any high earning individual, and create a pension plan. Several different types of pension plans that individual can take off the top dollars and put into the pension, and the amount that you put in the pension, you could make it self-directing investments and reduce your income, and therefore you reduce your income tax. Could you touch on that, please?
Yeah, that, of course, Biden plan has something in there regarding 401ks, which what you're asking is more defined benefit plan or defined contribution plans. For people who have income, that it's a self-employment income, earned income that most of you people have, it's good to do a pension because you don't pay taxes on it at this point, and you invest with that money either in real estate, of course with some limitations, or any type of other investment like a stock market or others.
But that is blended with after-tax money, correct?
No, before.
Before tax. Before tax.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Let's put it in an example. Like you make let's say you make $1 million a year. Okay. You make $1 million a year, and your spending of that million, let's say you pay $400,000 taxes and $600,000 is left, right? Out of the $600,000, $300,000 is really your living expenses. And you have additional $300,000 that you want to invest with, right? Out of the million, you pay $400,000, $300,000, living expense $300,000, a investment money. Now, this is after tax. In other words, you earned $1 million, you paid the $400,000, you have $300,000 to invest. Now, imagine if you make the same $1 million and you put, let's say, 250 of it in the pension plan, and then you have 750 to pay taxes on. So obviously, when you have 750, you don't pay $400,000 taxes. Now you pay, let's say, $200,000 taxes. So you saved $250,000 without paying taxes on, and to invest, and then you have you have 750 minus 200,000, you have 550 additional money to live with and to invest with. So it's a 550 plus 250 is total of about $800,000. So $800,000 versus $600,000 if you pay taxes.
And so we're talking about like the SEP IRA, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, we're talking about defined benefit. SEP IRA and all of those are limited to 58,000. You could only pay this year, I think it's 57, or next year would be 58, or whatever it is. It's around that area. That's a maximum of SEP IRAs. What I'm talking about is defined benefit plan. Okay. For the most part, defined benefit plans, it costs you to set it up, but it's worth it because usually the administration gets like a $3,000–4,000 a year to administer and set up these sort of things. But it's well worth it for people who have higher income to put that money aside. But if your income is not that much, SEP IRA would work also. SEP IRA is limited to 58,000. Now, on the new Biden plan is he wants to give IRA right now for the people who put IRA or 401k, they deduct that from their income. Let's say that's 58,000, you deduct that from income. He wants to, instead of deducting from income, he wants to give you a refundable deposit. Well, the problem with that, the tax credit, the refundable tax credit is he's limiting it to 28%. So if you're paying 39% taxes, he's giving you only credit for 28%. In other words, you still, it's much less deduction than if you were deducting it completely. So overall, we understand that that's what he's doing. He's shifting the tax burden to middle class and higher middle class people. That's what he's doing. It's shifting taxes to this kind of people.
So and again, it's important. Nobody, this call is not meant to be political, but it is meant to be informative because this is just a perspective, right? It's a perspective on how how administrations can affect the economy and more specifically our clients and ourselves, right? So it's valuable information. You take this and you synthesize it and come up with your own conclusions. But this is a perspective that makes a lot of sense to me. It might make sense to a lot of you, but for some of you might disagree, and that's okay. Not meant to be, a political statement and push everybody into one direction. Yeah,
it's not a political statement. It is what it is. It's a different administration, different way of thinking, and different way of collecting taxes. No matter what, government needs taxes to live with. Okay. Now, how do they get taxes? And usually the taxes comes in with their economy policy. The economy policy is where to expand, where not to expand, and stuff like that. All of these, we take taxes from this and we don't take taxes from that, is all sort of pushing people to go to a different direction of the economy. So, but overall, my job is for people who I work for to minimize the taxes to the best we can by projecting what's going to happen and to go forward. None of these things are not final, but overall we see what's going to happen and we want to make a decision on that and make an action on it.
Thank you again, Frank. Really.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions?
I think what we've heard from Frank that directly applies to our business are several things that potentially the 1031 exchange is in trouble, maybe taken away. The stepped up basis may be taken away, which has a direct um, effect on our clients, as well as estate planning, estate taxes.
And
Those
capital
three
gains.
Yeah.
Capital gains increase as well.
Capital gains, yes, as well, yes. So if some of our clients intend to do a sale and exchange, they better do it now, immediately. Do it as opposed to wait until next year.
Right.
That's the
That's
message.
ammunition for you guys, right? That's ammunition to get out there and get on the phone.
Urgency.
Yeah.
Right.
The question is, these things, don't they take time? I mean, it isn't effective January 1. I mean, won't it take them a year to, I mean, Frank, from your experience, if they're going to eliminate the step up or capital gains, isn't that something that's going to go through Congress and that's going to be effective January 1st, 2022? I mean, isn't there a little bit of runway there?
It could be. It could be. Let's hope that that's the case. But if you remember, on a Trump tax plan changes, it was retroactive to the beginning of the year. So when he did it in 2017, a lot of it started from 2017, some of it started in 2018. So it takes them a year to approve anything, I'm sure. Even if the Senate goes Republican, and there are some of these tax ideas is going to be accepted. Some of them, you know, maybe a 39% higher tax would be accepted, but or corporate, instead of being corporate, is 21%. It's one of the point of planning that we were doing in my practice was I was keeping money in the corporations and to pay 21% taxes, because the people that I had would invest in a corporation. There was no reason to take the money out. You could do it in 21% rather than paying 39%, 37% or whatever. If he's planning to change it to 28%, maybe that goes through, but 1031 doesn't go through. We don't know. But to answer your question, it could be retroactive to beginning of 2021 rather than being in 2022. Let's hope to be in 2020. Well, there's going to be a change. No matter what we say, there's going to be a change. It's not going to be to the extent that he's proposed when he was going through the election. Definitely, it's not going to be the same thing. It's going to be, but the theme of the plan is this: it's going to be the same type of areas. It's going to be adjusted, but let's hope that we have another year of correcting ourselves or plan ourselves to pay less taxes rather than rush into it. But it is what it is. Definitely, there's going to be changes, to my opinion. Maybe not to this extent, but there's going to be changes. Now, it's going to be effective to 2022. Let's hope there is. But usually, it goes back to that same year. In other words, if they approve anything in 2021, it's going to be effective January 2021.
Frank, again, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Frank.
Nice meeting.
And I got to say, Frank, you also win the Best Mustache on this Call award. That is impressive, my friend. That is incredible.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time and your information and your knowledge. We appreciate you.
I appreciate knowing all of you and wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Bye.
All right, guys. And Frank, you're more, oh, he's leaving. Okay. I was going to say, he's more than welcome to stay. You know, this, hopefully you guys found that to be very useful. Again, it's important for us as taxpayers it's also very important for us to take that information and be able to use it when we're speaking with our clients. So take it by the horns, you guys, and make it happen. Because we had such a great time on that topic and with that speech, we're only left about 7 minutes. So we'll make it brief this week, and you guys are usually pretty shy anyways. Needs and wants, new deals, new escrows, masterminding. I'll throw it out to you guys. You have 7 minutes. Who wants to go first?
I have
Julie,
something.
go ahead.
Okay. So I have a developer he's actually looking right now. He doesn't have, I'm going to be representing him. He's looking for, hold on, let me look at the message. It's basically, he wants something off the 101 towards Malibu, like anywhere across there, like any land tear down fixer. He's going to build, like he builds like either multifamily or luxury, and it's up to 3 million. So if anyone has anything, let me know.
Very good. Thank you. Julie, just as a reminder, go to kwbhvirtual.com and look at the spreadsheet, because if somebody's already posted something and maybe they're not on the call, you might be able to find it there. That's
Where is it? It's KWBH spreadsheet.
No, kwbhvirtual.com. That is the one and singular website that has everything you could possibly need about our office as well as international.
And it has like listings or off markets and stuff
So in
too.
the upper right hand corner, you'll see helpful links, useful links. I forget what the actual title is. Click on that. You'll see an off market spreadsheet for residential. And then you'll see a needs and wants sheet for commercial.
Okay,
You
perfect.
can also actually post up there that you need something like this and trigger it as well.
I have like several, I think I have 3 to 5 developers looking right now. So I'll just post them all in there.
Put them all up there.
Okay.
Put them all up there. Who's next?
I'll jump in. Yeah, we've got a buyer looking for multifamily around Beverly Hills or as close to BH as possible. He just did a 6-unit for about 4.2, so he's willing to reach a little bit. So if you guys have any off markets, sounds like he's got a pretty flexible budget. So I don't know that it has to be, 6 units or less. It sounds like you can go quite a bit bigger. So if you got anything expired or, upcoming listings, or you just know an owner that's open to potentially selling that may not be, 5 caps, we might have a guy that can reach a little bit for you. So.
Okay, awesome.
I may have something. This is Samantha. Hi there. What is your phone number? How can I reach you?
I'll put it in the box here.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Sepida is texting something or chatting something, looking for opportunity zone development in LA County, have 1031 exchange, need fixer or value add property, like 1.2, 1.3 million in LA County. So it seems like 2 different needs there. Also, just to let you guys know, I'm in an exchange as well. Not me, but I have a client that's in an exchange. We closed on a duplex that we had purchased a few years ago. We just closed on that last 2 weeks ago. They're adding some money to it. We have about 1.2 to place. Looking for bigger buildings in lesser neighborhoods or smaller buildings in better neighborhoods. So, but my smaller, I'm talking maybe income residential, like 3 or 4, maybe 4 units would be better. And then for the bigger buildings in other neighborhoods, we're going traditional commercial units. They also have another 4-plex in the city of Inglewood that they own. So they're not the first time investors, but they're the growing investor. So the goal is to try to get them into something bigger and better. So if you have something off market, we've seen most everything on the market.
Are they only looking for like tear downs and fixers, or is it?
All. They're only looking for apartment buildings, not tear downs.
Oh, okay. So I have a developer that's finishing an 11 unit. It's in Sherman Oaks. I just met with him yesterday. It's brand new build. Up to 10. He wants around 10 million. I can send you the details if you want.
Yeah, I mean, my guys only have 1.2 to place. So.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Right. Thank you, though. You should put that up there, though, on the spreadsheet.
Well, I'm waiting because I want to get the listing, because he wants to do either, like, he wants to sell it before it's finished, but I'm hoping to get the listing first. So we'll see.
Great.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Who else? So
Are those condos or is that apartments?
Those are apartments, but they're 3 to 4 bedroom, 2,000 square feet. There's 2 penthouses. They're 11 units. They're going to be renting between like 4.5 to 5,000 a month, and then the penthouses are 6,500 each.
You have a buyer, Jake?
No, I do not.
It's really nice. I was just there yesterday. It's beautiful. It's he'll be finished with it in a couple months. It's almost completely done. So, but the last he's also building he just started on a new one. It's 28 units. It's multifamily condos across from Universal Studios. That one's going to be a lot more. So.
And those are condos though, not apartments.
Those are condos. He usually only does condos, but this one just happened to be apartments because they don't have the subterranean for the permits
And
on
talking about 11 unit apartment buildings, Masa and I have our 11 units for lease right now. We are trying to lease it up. We're waiting for C of O. That should happen any minute now. So as soon as we lease it up, and possibly we're still working on him. Possibly we'd like to maybe sell it before it's completely leased up. 11 units in Echo Park, literally across the street from Echo Park. 4 stories total. 3 of the units have views of Echo Park. The rest of the units have views of the city. Great apartment building. So more to
How
follow.
much are they asking for it?
They're not right now. So unpriced right now. We're trying to lease it up right now.
Mhm.
Ones and twos. Only 2 units are 2 bedroom, 2 bath. The rest are ones. So if you have anybody for leases right now, by all means, I'll get more information to everybody else about the sale coming up.
Why do we think all these owners want to sell before the property is leased?
Well, mine, it's because they're developers. They're building it and say they want to just sell it off. He's like, if I can't sell it, I'll just rent them myself and keep it. But he said the last 2 he did 3 months before it was finished, 1031 exchanges. It's just people are buying them up. So
Jake,
think
it's
it
a
may
great
be-
question, right? It's a great question because my personal opinion is I'm frustrated when I see empty buildings that are for sale. Like I don't need projections. I need income,
yeah.
right?
Right.
So why sell it empty? And that doesn't it makes everybody's job more difficult. Again, that's my opinion. What's your opinion on that?
I don't know. I think it's because rents are coming down and they put these fake rents to try and achieve a price that otherwise would never sell for. If you put actual rents and you actually fill the building, then the property prices itself.
Right. And therefore, if you have no rents, then you have no actuals. It's also, look, we normally
Like the blind leading the blind.
right. And
A
in
wise
normal
man
market,
once
we
said.
already speculate, right? We'll put scheduled up there. That's the old game, and it depends on the market cycle, right? There's sometimes in the market where everybody's using scheduled income, right? But then reality slaps us in the face and says, you can't do that. You're elevating the values for no reason. If somebody's willing to buy, yeah, we want that sucker to buy. But then eventually reality slaps you in the face. You go back to actuals, and then the market takes a dip and the prices go down. And then people are like, well, wait a minute, now I've got too much inventory.
Yeah.
So it's a great question.
Not to mention that it is impossible to get a new loan against a
On top of
property that's under 90% occupied.
that's actually the most important. That's the most
Right. Buyer pool is cut in half.
Yeah. I think Alfredo, you put this here, restaurant storefront, 3,000 to 4,000 square feet, more kitchen space, Lemon Grove, La Mesa area, turnkey. If you know of anything in this area, was that you, Alfredo?
Yeah, that was me. So for an agent in the office.
Oh, fantastic. Have that agent please post that up to KWBH virtual.
It's on the spreadsheet already.
Awesome. Great. And then Gay Lynn also has 10371 Penn Street in Whittier, Uptown Whittier, triplex, 3 units vacant, Galen, or here, well, you're here still, so you go for it.
So yes, I have a wonderful vacant building. So, we're talking about vacancies. This owner actually purposely left it vacant, thinking, people can get filled up because of COVID and you don't have to deal with tenant issues. So seeing it from that perspective, that you can go fill it up with whoever you prefer to do that. It's in Uptown Whittier, just around the corner from Whittier College. So it's a great location, but it's he went in with the intention of trying to do something different with this project. Right next door, it's like vacant land, potential opportunity to develop down the road. So I think it's a great pickup.
Good, thank you. And to Galen's point, you guys, yeah. So there are benefits to having vacancies in your buildings too, right? So if they're unrehabbed, that gives the buyer an opportunity to rehab, add that value, right? We always hear people want value add. Then they can raise the rents, they can raise the income and raise the value of the property. Also the tenant issues, right? You're not inheriting troubled tenants potentially. You're qualifying your own tenants the way you like to do it. So some buyers, and there are many benefits of having vacant units as well.
Thank you.
Anybody else, guys? I'm going to be respectful of time. We're 3 minutes over our allotted time.
By the way, I do want to make a quick point. I have an empty retail space for lease up in the Cerritos area, but right next door I have an empty, like grocery store, big box. We're looking for big box national tenant to fill up. So the Choose Fitness went out the door on this particular center, and we've got a Sky Zone, of course, not doing too much right now, but hopefully once vaccine, all these things start to turn around, that we have a potential. But if you guys know of anybody, do some value add, grocery store, maybe ghost kitchen, they're open to anything over there.
Galen, how big is that space?
It's like 29,000 square feet.
29,000, and it was a gym. So it's just an open space.
Open, totally open. So if we can get creative with something like that, be terrific.
And Cerritos right off the fruit, like the 605 right there?
605, yep, great. Next to the Auto Town Center.
Oh, Cerritos Auto. Yeah, my kids love that song. All right, thanks so much.
How much is it, the triplex in Whittier?
$995 is the asking, right, Galen?
Can I have your email address? Finally, my microphone is working now.
Hey, yeah. After all this time, nice to hear from you, Sabina.
Yes, thank you so much. Can I have? She was Gail. Her name was Gail. I'm sorry.
GAY-LYNN.
Okay.
I'm adding my info right now.
And yeah,
Please.
she's adding it to the chat right now.
Yeah, I think that would be good for my 1031 exchange.
Oh, great.
Especially because it's vacant.
and your client can do with it what they choose.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Anybody else? Last call. You guys, the end of the year is upon us. We have 30 days, less the holiday. We have probably 20 some odd days. Let's make it happen. Let's close off 2020 really strongly, okay? You guys, it's a pleasure to see everybody. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.